Hey, what's up guys? Richie here from LW Hobbies, back for my December bench update. So it's been a month since my last one. Plenty of time modeling at the bench, been working a lot of stuff. We had the Thanksgiving holiday, and then I took last week off work as well. So got a bunch of PTO I need to use by the end of the year. So plenty of time off, getting to holiday season, and plenty of time at the bench. So a little housekeeping to start with. I don't have any pictures or anything anybody sent me to share with you guys this month, but if you guys want to send me anything, links below, and I'm happy to share it. Also, my next bench update will be the new year, first week of January, but I will do a video around Christmas time, maybe the week before, well, as I did last year and the year before, where I'll do like a year in review. So I'll go through all my builds in 2021 and show you pictures of each one and kind of talk real quick about each kit I've done. And quite a lot. I think it's been over 20 this year, so I've been quite productive, way more than I expected, but really happy how this year went. So that's kind of where I'm at. Usually I do what I've been buying last, but today I'm going to do it first because I've started some of these kits. So it flows better, I'll kind of introduce them now and then you can see it later on. So behind me here, I feel like I'm on a game show with a bunch of prizes, but here's what I got in the last month. So firstly, this guy. The 32nd scale, sorry, 32nd, the 24th scale Trumpeter Hurricane Mk.IIc. Now, this kit is probably my kit of the year. Fantastic. We'll talk more about it later, but it is a great kit. I pretty much assembled it and ready for paint, and I had a total blast building it. So we'll talk more about it later, but it's probably my kit of the year and amazing price. It's got it from AliExpress. I liked it so much, I already ordered the Mark I, the Battle of Britain version, again in 24th scale, from the same guy in China, and with airmail shipping, which takes like 2 weeks, taxes and everything, it was like 55 bucks to my door. So what a bargain for a 24th scale aircraft. Hey, so highly recommend it. Great kit, no problems at all. And let's say it's assembled, I just need to put the paint down. So at this point, you know, any mistakes or errors are on me, not the kit. So I can safely say that. So great kit. Next up is this guy, because I'm dropping everything. Sylvester, 35th scale Ural, 4320, I believe. Yeah, Euro truck. Now, I've seen a couple of these built online. They're actually really nice kits. I did a review of this one too. It's got full engine detail. It's got really nice chassis, really well detailed, goes together really well. And being Sylvester, it doesn't break the bank. It's a reasonably priced kit. So there it is again. Now, my plan with this one isn't to go with like the military green, but kind of switch it up a little bit. So I'm thinking maybe do a civilian version with maybe kind of like, I don't know, like blue cab or light blue or something like that, some kind of color, and on a vignette. So I'm going to do it broken down side of like a muddy road, or maybe like a post-apocalyptic kind of theme with a couple of figures. So I got this guy, and one figure fell down the back here. There we go. So I've got two figures. What I'll do is I'll do a close-up picture-in-picture because you're not going to see it on camera. But basically what they are, two females, two girls. One's kind of like sitting sitting down, so it'll be sat in the truck, just kind of waiting. And her friend here will be stood at the side of the truck with a gas can to kind of depict kind of broken down kind of scene. Now these again from AliExpress, and they're not very expensive. They were like $2 each plus a couple of bucks of shipping. And again, resin figures, so not nicer than like plastic. So again, that will be part of my vignette I'll be working on. And finally, this guy, the 1/500 scale Space Battleship Yamato. Now I want to keep saying Yamato, but it's pronounced Yamato, I believe. Now I could be totally wrong, but seeing the show Star Blazers, catching it up online, it's basically a sci-fi TV show, and this is the Space Battleship Yamato in 500 scale. Now I'm not sure if it's deliberate, but the length is 66 centimeters, 0.6. So, or 666 millimeters long. So it's a couple of foot long, decent size. There's 3 versions of this. They do, well, it might be more, but they do a 1/1000 scale, which is a tiddler. We got this 1/500 scale, a couple of foot long. I mean, you get a 1 to, I think it's 350 scale, which is probably like 3-4 foot long. But if you look online from Japan, they're like $800-900. So that's way out my budget for model kits. So this is really hard to find right now. For a normal price. They go on eBay really expensive. I did a quick Google search and I found like a hobby store up in Wisconsin, and they're selling them at normal retail price. So I picked one up, I think it was $114.95. This is my early Christmas present to myself. So I got this guy. See, it's still sealed, not opened it yet, and this will be probably my Tuesday video. So once I'm done today, I'm going ahead and I'll get the box open and do a review for you guys. So really cool looking subject, and being sci-fi, you got to add some lights and stuff and jazz it up. So normally in my models, not into like the moving props, sound, lights, that kind of stuff. But when it comes to sci-fi, I think it definitely kind of warrants it. So I don't have it yet, arrive later today, but when I do a review, I'll show you. I have also ordered the Madman lighting set. So not only does it give you lights all over the ship, but the main thing here, this kind of, excuse my ignorance, I don't know the correct terminology, but a wave cannon, I think it is, at the front here. It fires out a beam of light when you push a button, but it's not just like a quick beam, it's got the effects with a board, so it's got fiber optics around it. So what happens is it kind of has that pulsating effect, and then it kind of draws it in and then fires out the beam like super bright when you push that button. It just looks really cool. So I got the lighting kit. That's gonna be a whole new world for me. It's not it's kind of plug and play, but all the wires and LEDs are separate. I got to solder them all up, got to fix it all up. So hopefully the instructions are good, and we'll do that as well. But that's my game plan with this one. And then being Bandai, obviously I need to be careful what I use product wise. Like enamel thinners will melt the plastic with Bandai plastic, so stick to more like natural kind of I don't know, neat oils would be okay, and then using like clay washes, that kind of stuff, probably to weather this guy up. But there she is. Again, way bigger box than I expected. I didn't expect it to be this big, but yeah, still sealed, so we'll get to open it up, and I'll show you on Tuesday what's inside that. So really excited about this one. It's a really cool subject for me, and something a little bit different to the usual stuff, and it'd be a great display piece with those lights. So that's what I purchased. Let me clear this box out the way, and I'll come right back and we can talk about what I've been working on. Alright, so I'm back. You probably saw it behind me on a lot of my videos recently on the spray booth. I just picked it up. So here was that Star Wars Legions ATST. So I primed it, I've done a shadow coat, I have no paint on it yet, or done base obviously. But there she is. So it's a really cool, like good size. It's probably what I can measure right now. It is like 19 centimeters high, which is 4 inches. Let me see. It's about 7 inches high. So it's really cool detail. Now this thing went together in like 5 minutes. If you remember when I showed you this last month or the month before, the piece is all pre-cut. So all you do is basically slot it together. Now my plan with this was my daughter was going to put it together for me, and I was going to paint it, but she was too busy on her iPad, not interested. So in the end, I just threw this thing together. So again, it's all main assemblies, just the legs and stuff. Again, probably 20 pieces max. It literally took like 5-10 minutes to super glue this thing together. So there she is. This again, Star Wars Legion. It's not the Bandai one. It's Star Wars Legion. Now the only issue or negative after this one is this is a solid piece up here. I was hoping this would be open with some interior detail, because I wanted to add red LED lights like the Mandalorian episode, so I could have red lights coming, like glowing from here. But now it's too much work to add lights now because it's all sealed up. But there you go. It's really well detailed. Hopefully you can see that. And once I get some paint and weathering on this thing, it's going to look pretty cool. But like I said, I've been working on other stuff, so it's been sat there for like 3 weeks now, just waiting to be something to be done with it. But Star Wars ATST. Yeah, and Star Wars Legion's really cool. And you remember I did that space bus thing too, the speeder truck. That was a really great build as well. So these Legion kits are really cool. They go together really well. The older ones are all like pre-cut. You just kind of glue it together. The new ones are on sprues. You have to like cut off, but still, there's not many pieces. They do all the figures and stuff. Again, this is part of a wargaming kind of game, but I don't play it. I just like the figures and the models. Cool. Next up, let's talk about the Hurricane. Hurricane or Hurricane, depending how your accent. And there she is. Beautiful kit. My kit of the year. It went together so well. I don't think there's any filler on this, to be honest with you. It just fell together. Has a fully detailed engine. You do get these gimmicky kind of clear parts. I just PVA'd in it in the part so I can paint it, and I'll take it off and leave it open. So you set the engine, that side are closed up. You got an engine, you got a gun bay. This side, again, I've just put the panels on so I can paint it. This side I've glued up. I've added the fabric seat belt. Again, you're not really going to see it. Yahoo instrument panel, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and the gun barrels. So did a little bit of surgery on the front here, put the metal brackets in for the gun barrels, the master set, and they just slot right in. So beautiful kit. Not super huge, as you can see. It's about 50 centimeters long. No, 40 long and 50 wide. So there we are. So I've built it. I've built all the sub-assemblies, built all the wheels. Pretty much done. All I'm waiting for now is my Montex mast set coming from Hanance. Once I get the mast set, I can mast the canopy up, get it on, and start painting it. So that's where we're at. Again, I can't highly recommend this kit enough. It's just amazing. Now, I've done this as I've been filming this, so up right to this part, I'm up to 5 parts. And it's been part of a video build series. So this is going to go up on my Patreon starting Christmas Day for all my Patreon members. So just my quick kind of shout out for Patreon. So what we got going on Patreon right now. So the Harrier is almost finished up on my YouTube channel. So I've got 1 episode left on Patreon, which will go on YouTube next Friday. Also, I have the full, I can't remember how many parts it is, but the full, my Growler, my 32nd scale Growler build, the EA-18G Hornet, remember from last month? That's I think like 10, 11 parts. That's all up on Patreon to view, that whole build series. Also, the Heinkel 111, we'll talk about in a minute. That one's about halfway through. So my release schedule on Patreon is every 5 days. It just drop an episode about halfway through that. But when that finishes, the Hurricane will start on Christmas Day. Again, 5 parts up to here. Then we've got probably what, painting, weathering, so maybe like 7 or 8 parts total. So that's what we've got going on Patreon. They will filter over to my YouTube eventually, but this one probably won't be until like maybe late summer next year, to be honest with you. I've got so much content coming on. I don't want to oversaturate YouTube, so I like to just drop that video every Friday, a build series, just one a week. So there we go. Again, great kit. So yeah, the other thing was, I talked about this on my review, if you saw it. So the guy, I ordered from China, and the guy put in like, I don't have them right now, but he put like 6 glass balls. Like, these things weighed a ton. Like, you probably put like double my shipping cost, or his shipping cost. So I got all these glass balls, which I have no idea what they are. And I got that tin plate behind me of a Kitty Hawk kit, which I have no interest in. So when I bought the, I mentioned I bought the Mark I Battle of Britain version of this kit last week. When I put in my order notes, I put in there, please don't put any glass balls in there, because I don't need any glass balls, but thank you. But yeah, that's a weird one. But yeah, that's that guy. By the time we come back in New Year, hopefully, unless there's a huge shipping delay, whatever, on my mask, that should be finished. So yeah, 4 weeks. Just got to paint and weather that guy up, so not much work left on that at all. So did that, and then because I'm waiting my mask, I thought I'd start a new kit. So I can't show the box because I got the parts inside the box. It's all going to fall out. But I've started work on a HobbyBoss 48 scale intruder. Remember this guy? Now, this has been in my stash a while, and I've not started for 2 reasons. Number 1, the camo. I want to do not the boring grey, but I want to do the camo scheme. It scared me because the decals are all two-tone matched up to the camo, so you got to be perfect with your lines, the camo lines, to line up perfectly to get the decals to match. And the second thing is the cockpit detail. It's okay, but it's not what I expected. Edward's PE stuff, it's just too 2D for me. I don't like it. And so I was waiting for one of these guys with the 3D printed people to bring one out. And finally, Quinta Studios just released a resin 3D cockpit set for this. It's out in Russia, and it's not made its way to Europe or the US yet. Probably a couple of weeks' time it should be in stock. But it looks amazing. And, you know, with this kit, with all the glass, the way this is shaped, you're really going to see it. So I ordered a cockpit set, so I've started work on it, but obviously because I don't have the cockpit, I've had to do like sub-assemblies and stuff around it. So I get to it when I get the cockpit set. But yeah, it's going together really well. Now it's funny because it's a big 48 scale aircraft, but it feels tiny to me. It feels like 1 to 144 scale because I've been working at 24 scale Hurricane. So going from there to this, it's a big difference. But going together pretty good. It's nice to get all these kind of little sub-assemblies out of the way. Now the first thing I did was the ordnance, and that took me a good 3 days. Now I'll show you why, because like I got 12 cluster bombs. I had 2 parts. I had to put together, get rid of seam lines. I had to paint. I had to decal. All that kind of stuff. So I've done the cluster bombs. I'm doing Gulf War loadout. Now, the problem with this is, when I do the video, you'll see about this, but the cluster bombs don't fit, the holes don't fit the rack. And, yeah, so I had to fill the holes and then just super glue them on. So they didn't fit, which is a bit of an issue. And also, I put some of the decals on wrong way around, but I don't think you're going to notice that. Got a fuel tank, my usual, how I always do them with, you know, neat oils and some, you know, Lisa splatter mask, talked about a million times before. So we're going with 91, so this is 1991 Gulf War. So we've got a center fuel tank. The inner ones, I think, are going to, I can't remember if it's inner or outer, but we've got the 12 cluster bombs, and then we're going with 2 Mark 82s. These guys are always painted up too and decaled. So I've got all the ordnance done, which is nice right off the bat, because I have to worry about it. So when I get thing finished, all I have to do is slot them on. And I've done the wings with nice, again, nice detail, 40 flaps down, speed brake deployed, all that kind of jazz. Now I've not put the leading edges on because we're going to paint that red first, and then it'll be easy to glue them on afterwards. So wings are done, and I've started on the radar. So what I've done with this one is, again, you'll get this masking perfect because you got the decals. So, for example, like the navy right here, if you can see it, I don't know if you can see it on the camera. 2 letters are in dark color, 2 letters in light color, so you'll get that camo splodge perfect. So what I did was, something I've never done before, but I scanned this into my computer, and then I basically looked at the size on the drawing here and looked at the size on the kit, and I could determine the difference in size, how to upscale it. So I upscaled it, I think it was like 208% was perfect. So I upscaled these, and then what I did then was I basically printed them out. So I got all these printouts of various parts of the aircraft. The obviously the top view is a different scale to that. I think that was enlarged about 330% or something like that. So the top view. And what my plan with this is, now, if you have like one of those like Cricut or Cry-Cut machines or whatever, it's perfect. You can just cut out marks, no problem at all. I don't have that. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to, these are perfect size now for the aircraft. So I'm going to get some of that Tamiya like masking paper, like not tape, you can get like sheets of paper. And I'm going to basically trace these out, these marks out, and then cut it out and create my own mask set, basically, a mask. And then when I get to painting, I can paint the dark colors and just mask it, and then spray over it. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to be in the right position for these decals to match up with the 2 different color contrasts. So not only have I done that, but being the nice guy I am, it took me an evening's work. I went ahead and created a PDF. So if you're building this kit, I've saved you a little bit of time, and you want to do the camo markings, shoot me an email. Again, earlier on I put my email address up, and I'm happy to share my PDF with you. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be 100% accurate when you print it. It should be. But yeah, so I did a PDF. It's going to be, for US size, that legal paper, and I'm sure it's like 8.5 by 11. So if you use A4, just be conscious of the fact you're not going to change the scaling and stuff. But if you are doing it and you want these masks, the printouts, basically, I've done the work, just shoot me an email. I'm happy to share the PDF with you. No problem at all. So yeah, that's going to make it a lot easier. So yeah, created my own mask, who would have known? So did that, and we're pretty much done with that. So, well, for now, I mean, we're still working on it. I'm getting to the stage now where this is almost work stop. I need to get that kind of the cockpit set so I can get working on this one. But game plan, hopefully any day now, I'm getting them on test masks, get working with Hurricane. By the time I'm done with Hurricane, hopefully it'll be time to do this. So perfect world, my time is going to sync up and I'll get these 2 builds done by the end of the year, although I'm in no big rush. And then get on to the Yamato, although that'd be fun because I'm not really done much lighting, so I've got to really kind of look into do my research on how to do lighting. I did, if you remember I did a Rogue One diorama with the Super Star Destroyer. No, was it the Star Destroyer over the Jeddah city. I put lights in that one. That was a bit of a challenge for me, getting all those lights and wiring and stuff, and a couple of lights still don't work, but whatever. Cool. So I've been working quite a lot of stuff, have you seen? So on top of that, I finished 2 builds, and I finished these pretty much right after my last update. So I don't have them anymore because I sold them. So as you know, right now, a few projects, certain bigger scale stuff I keep, and I'd like to display it, but I keep everything. Like a lot of the smaller stuff, I just move on and sell, and then put some money back in the hobby so I can buy cool things like Battleship Yamato. Yamato. Still can't say it right. So what I finished. So first thing was a Heinkel 111. Now I don't have it, but I had the kind of forethought to actually record the walk around before I packed it up and shipped it away. So it turned out really good in the end. Now the kit itself, the plastic was very kind of, I don't know, it was very kind of rubbery and flexible and soft. But it went together okay, but the problem for me was it was just so delicate to handle. It was, the way it builds, you have to build interior with like little, like tiny 48 scale 50 cal guns sticking out from all these windows and stuff because they're from the inside. And then you got all the glass work on the front. It was just really hard to hold it and move it without breaking stuff. It was just came to a stage where it was just really too difficult to kind of handle. But we got it finished. I wasn't that happy with the paint. It was two similar colors. I followed a color call out, which was the black green and I think it was the dark green, but it was two similar colors. There was no contrast. So if I was to do it again, I'd definitely add more black to the black green to make it darker. The Tamiya color wasn't quite right for me, even though I mixed it up pretty good. It was too subtle. But I really weathered that down. It was a nice kit, pretty much out of the box. The mast set is definitely 100% required because the amount of windows in that thing was ridiculous. But yeah, I was happy how it turned out, and I moved it on to its owner, and yeah, got a really good price for it, and I'm hopefully they're happy with it too. So that got shipped away. So that was a Heinkel. I don't think I'll be doing another German bomber anytime soon. Just again, that just glass work. It was just too difficult to handle. Whereas something like this is easy. You know, you can hold it, you can paint it, you can move it around. But when you got all these little guns everywhere and glass, it was just too much. So that was the first one. The second project I finished was the Leopard tank. Now, this I started building about 18 months ago. It was I built it pretty far along, 90% done. I got to like some photo etch baskets and the tracks, and I just lost the mojo. The baskets wouldn't go together well. I just didn't like, I just lost it. So I was always just put it away. And it's my hobby. If you're not feeling something, put it away and start a new project. So I did that. And then a year and a half later, I found it and I was like, I don't mind. Yeah, let's do it again. And then, well, I thought, well, first of all, I looked online. It's like, if I sell it part used, part built, how much I can get for it? And it wasn't betting anything. But if I finish it, then I might get like a lot more. If I put like a few nights work into this thing and sell it, I'll get a little bit more. So it's the first project where I kind of did it in my mind. I built it to sell it basically. So got it put together. The tracks were beautiful. They were my second favorite tracks after the MKIIC chassis. The pins, workable tracks, went together really well, but get this, the instructions don't tell you how many links on each side. So the instructions were terrible, Border Models instructions, terrible, like tons of corrections, errors, and doesn't tell you how many track links you need. The part to build the tracks was like that big on the instructions, and yeah, it didn't help at all. So went online, couldn't find anything. I found that the real tank had, I think it was 82 links on each side. So I thought, well, this is a scale model, so maybe it should be 82 as well. So I did 82 on each side, and it's actually a little too tight. So I did 83, and it was just about right, but there's a lot of tension on those tracks to hold it together. If I was to go to get maybe 84, might be a safe kind of happy medium, because especially at the top, you're not going to see if there's any sag because it's, you know, the side skirts and stuff. So probably 84 is probably the sweet spot, but 83 did it, and it turned out okay. So I didn't go crazy with that one. I just kind of lightly weathered it, just pin washed it basically, and I sprayed on, airbrushed a little bit of dark dirt along the bottom, and that was as far as I went. No pigments or anything, and I just built it literally just to move it on and sell it. So I got the mast set, I got the, I can't remember, I can't remember the name of the company now who did it, but I got a mast set, and I messed it up. I did the wrong color first. As always, I didn't read instructions, and it said start with the middle color, and I think I started light color. So by the time I got 2 camo colors down, went to the third one, it didn't quite sync up right. So it was really hard to get kind of conform the paper mask to conform over the lumps and bumps of the tank, and get when you got multiple colors, get no gaps and stuff. So in the end, I ripped them all off, and I just airbrushed in by hand the third color, just freehanded it, and it kind of turned out okay, I think. So wasn't perfect, but you know, it's a cleanish build. And again, I just got it finished off the bench and moved on. And the great thing with that is it also kind of clears my backlog, because I don't really have much in the way of Shelf of Doom. I cleared the 32nd scale Me-109 earlier this year. I did that tank. All I can think of really on my shelf left that I've had for years is I think it's HobbyBoss or Trumpeter semi-second scale SU-34, the big one with the tandem cockpit. I put on like a resin nose and started building it, and I lost a little bit of interest. So that one's partly built, and I can't really think too many other projects, to be honest with you, that I got like left. So I've done a really good job of kind of clearing some stuff away and getting stuff moved on. So that is it. A lot of stuff, a lot of talking, a lot of stuff on the pipelines. Really excited about that battleship, and that Hurricane's going to look fantastic, I think, once it's done as well. So So thank you as always for watching. Really appreciate the support. All the people on Patreon, thank you as well. Appreciate your support. All the people on YouTube, all the kind comments as always. And I don't think, well, I'll see you before Christmas because I'll do that update. But if not, have a great holidays and I'll see you in the new year.